A man who looked like he loved his profession, as being as a pastor and also a business heavy car salesperson. Pastor Hlophe has been reported very recently, this particular news that you are seeing here. So yesterday I'm scrolling on social media and I see a couple of posts that come from Swaziland, from a couple of media companies down from down there. And they all have this message that the man who was recently married, I think about 2 years back, recently celebrated his anniversary to his wife, had collapsed during a message when he was preaching at church, and was taken over to the hospital, as it says here. Pastor of Gospel Life Sanctuary International has passed away after collapsing while preaching. This is during the period of going towards Christmas, the 22nd. This is when this was reported, and he was rushed to the medical facility and was announced later on to have passed. And so I had seen that particular post on Facebook. So I went to look up the man, and this is him. He was married very recently, about 2 years back. He even shared this post, particularly very recently, wishing his wife a happy anniversary. Very recently, very, very recently. If you actually look through his page, him and his wife recently attended 3 other weddings. They said 3 outfits, 2 countries, 2 weddings, and staff awards, as they had been going about their life. To the particular weddings that they had actually recently attended. And so the pastor was preaching. I think they recently shared even some of the pictures on their social media page of them attending the weddings and so forth. And this is the sad part of this story. The sad part is, in September, Pastor Hlophe himself had shared that they were mourning the passing of his sister. It's very recently, September. That they were mourning the passing of his sister. You scroll a little bit earlier than that, he was speaking about I think around when was it? August. He was speaking about them having an unveiling and so forth. Right before he passed, something that he posted right before. In a post that he posted about the 18th of December 2025, and that would make it roughly almost just 4 days or so. 4 days, like 3 to 4 days to the time when he passed. You will read on his Facebook page, he posted this. It says reflections for 2025. I'm just going to read the headlines. It says, here are some of the most important lessons I've learned, in no particular order, right? It says, never mess up a good thing. It's the first lesson. Second lesson that Pastor Hlophe shared was work hard. So never expect freebies. Nothing is free on this earth. He says there is always a price to pay. You gotta put yourself out there, gotta put yourself in the marketplace and do what must be done, right? But while you are doing that, he states in point number 3, have a relationship with God. This becomes very important if one should have direction. God directs, you know. The next point, which is his fourth point, which he mentions, he says, take care of yourself. And he says, be healthy consciously, eat well, exercise regularly. Your mental health, so important. Learn to protect yourself from negative and emotional. And he says, take some time, spoil yourself. So meaning, appreciate yourself in the labor that you do, right? I say this to people, no matter how low you earn, just go buy yourself a 20 rand t-shirt. Go buy new slippers. Take care of yourself on point number 4. Also, to spoil yourself. So meaning, get yourself something nice sometimes. Buy yourself something. Appreciate yourself for the work that you're doing, right? That way you don't feel empty. You see. In 2014, that lesson sank in for me. You know, that lesson, that right there, sank in for me. I needed something that reminded me, labor. And I didn't have any particular thing, and there was only 2 things that I wanted, and it was this watch. And I bought this watch 2014. It was a G-Shock. Yeah, I'm saying it was because the battery has died. 10 years, you know, G-Shock batteries take about 10 years and then they die. I bought this watch in 2014, and it was particularly that. It's something that reminds me the labor. And so this watch has gone the mile. It represented that for what it stood for. And it was meant to be a symbol. Work as hard and apply yourself to the marketplace. So whenever I wore this watch, it reminded me of that. And I never had to take it off, whether it was raining or whether it was, I was in the bush. This is a rugged watch. This is like a military grade watch. G-Shocks are made very, very, you can enter into water, you can swim with it, So anytime I looked down to check my watch, it reminded me of labor. Particular point that he mentions there, it's a very important one. The reason why I love particularly journaling is because I believe when you journal, it is much easier to follow the plan because you can see progress, what you need to have that before you. Have fun, laugh, go out on the weekend. God created this earth for us and so for us to enjoy life and so forth, right? And then he says, have faith in God. And then he says, build good relationships, right? And then lastly, believe in yourself. There are people that, in a heartbeat, they will discredit all the labor and all the work that they have gone through because of one particular area where they're staying. This is now the hope, is that Christ is risen from the dead and has become the first fruit, those who slept. So their promise for us then. So he's saying, in other words, oh no, we are not the most miserable. For us, there resonates a promise that we know awaits for us. Chapter number 4, verse number 13. It says, brothers and sisters, it says, we do not want you to be uninformed about those who have slept in death, who sleep in death. Right? It says, so that you do not grieve like the rest of mankind. There is a way people in the world cry. Our weeping is different. Yes, we weep because we are passionate. We know this person. We formed a relationship with, But it says our weeping is different because we weep knowing there is a future for our reuniting. Our relationships that we build down here, they create an environment for us to continue to pursue the things that we pursue. Gives us purpose in certain areas. We work hard because we know we're trying to achieve something and all that. But it can be very discouraging It's going to be very, very discouraging. I remember on my birthday, around May, there was a video that it just popped up on my feed. Around my birthday, it was actually around the 8th. This lady was crying. Her husband had passed away. And on this particular day, she was really dealing. On this day, she was really, really grieving. And so she's talking to the kids and she's trying to get the kids to understand. This was the video here. That's the account that posted the video. And she's just grieving and just alerting the kids. You're a child. There are things you don't understand. He says, right now you lost this. I must go and find money and pay for that thing. Your dad is not here for him to help me. And your heart would have sunk if you saw that video. This was around May, around that period when this video popped up on my feed, exactly on my birthday. I remember very well. And it was that there's this person who she has built this relationship with, and she just, there's just that moment of difficulty, And I think on this day she had gone out with her friends, and, she had come back, and now, the kids. And she's like, I just needed a minute, just to gather my strength. It takes a lot for a person to be a fake pastor. It takes a lot for a person to be selfish, self-willed. It takes a lot. Because you must not understand how building relationships bonds you with those people in a genuine manner, right? And that's what you see from the story that I'm talking about here. And even in light of this lady that I'm talking about, that she was grieving her husband, and she was just heartbroken by the particular period when this video came out. She had lost her partner, and now she needs help, and there's no help. So you can imagine the pain and all that people have to deal with in times of grieving like that. The wife as well. They just came from attending other people's weddings. There were about 3 other weddings from November all the way till now. They were even going to another country to support their friends in those countries. And they themselves were celebrating 2 years of marriage. And he just collapsed. Life can be burdensome. And so the advice he was given there is very important. It's not just us building ourselves solo, people like this whole thing of self-made. There's other people around you, and they are there for a reason. There is a point when we need those other areas. But also remember to appreciate yourself in your work, and also keep the family in your prayers. Strict Reality Show, we do daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down to the bit down in the pinned comments. It's Ricky, and I'll see you later.